Did you guys see the Pope? I saw the video actually yesterday. The Pope, one of those police officers. It was a female police officer. She was on a horse, and the horse kind of like, I don't know, something happened, spooked the horse, and the female officer went flying off the horse. The Pope mobile stops, and there's like the Pope. He's like running. He's gonna deliver first aid. Did you guys see the video? I mean, if the Pope was ever cute, that was the time. That was the. Hey, my name is Danny Alex, and this is Dimension Zero. We are. Oh man, I actually I got the video out that I wanted to get out. The human engineering. I finally got it out today. There's a lot of work. Holy cow! And it has a lot of the AI things. I could have tweaked it a lot more, but at some point in time, you have to move on to the next project, right? Yeah, because you have to get, you have to feed the algorithm, yada, 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 all these things. But if you guys, at some point in time, want to go watch the video, this is 90% of it, because all of the new AI models are insane. That came out basically at the end of December, July 1st. It's crazy what you can do. But it's like anything else. It's like any other movie production. You have to do multiple takes. You don't get it on the first one. You have to change the prompt. Maybe you don't get the lighting right. You don't get, the AI actors don't get it right. But the realism is insane. It is the first time as a screenwriter. This is so exciting to me because as a screenwriter, I've won hundreds of awards as a screenwriter all around the world. I can actually do storytelling, and this human engineering one, our humans were we engineered, is kind of more storytelling. It's kind of under that Anunnaki kind of ancient aliens kind of an idea, right? But it's the first time that you can really, that I've seen as a screenwriter, take images, combine them with the script, and actually tell a story from original imagery. Because basically what you're stuck, even with space stuff, anything with dealing with the universe, you're stuck with all the same old stuff, right? Everyone is using it. Everyone's regurgitating the same Getty images, the same Shutterstock, the same everything. Everyone uses it in space and science. It's boring. Wait a sec. Do I have?
You're boring. You're boring.
That's what it is. So AI is going crazy. As a matter of fact, I sent a message to the people that I work with, because I worked with them a year ago and said, "Look, man, it's not there. Like the particular, you can't give away your secrets over the secrets are secrets. The way I am on the memberships. I just started the memberships on the channel. On the high end one, I actually have a plan on disclosing everything that I do, how I do live streams, the tech that I use, the software I use, how I do AI, even some of my screenwriting ideas, or how to write screenplays, or how to storytell. But it is AI is. I knew that AI was going to change the world quickly, but now I realize it's going to change. Hey, Zara. Clibby Mitchell, Layla. One of my best friends, her little daughter is called Layla. Beautiful name. Layla's a beautiful name. I like Layla. Clibby's not bad either. Zara's not bad. Zara. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday. One thing, because I was so I had such a crazy day. I finally got the video out at what time was it? 6 o'clock Eastern. It came out finally, which is like an hour before showtime. So my apologies. I did not get the Chuck Norris. We're doing it tomorrow night. Chuck Norris is tomorrow night. The Chuck Norris 12 memes. How tough is Chuck Norris? So we got to do it Thursday night, tomorrow night. Because, oh my God. And then I scrambled to get this show together just to, get, because I had a few pieces already together, because yesterday was the Elon Musk plans. His plans to colonize Mars are pretty good. Like they're like, Elon's no dummy, right? He is probably a hyper high IQ autistic Superman guy. Tony Stark, as they would call it, tries to. I couldn't see him in an Iron Man suit. They'd have to make a belly for him now. He's a big guy, right? Musk, he's about like 7'6" or something. No, just kidding. He's like 6'2" or 6. He's taller than Trump, so he's 6'2" or 6'3". He's packing on a lot of weight. With that kind of trillions, like GLP-1, man. GLP-1, you got the money. It's no problem, senor. See, happy Three Kings Day. That was yesterday for everyone who did celebrate Three Kings Day. Of course, I don't, but I do have friends. I have a lot of friends that are quite religious, right? I think there's ghosts in here. Have you ever been sitting in a room alone? Of course, there's no one in the room here. It's just myself. And you kind of hear things. You kind of think, was that a ghost? I don't know. Not a ghost believer. Not a ghost believer. I will listen to all the evidence though, right? So if you're not, if you believe in ghosts, and maybe we should do a ghost program. If you believe in ghosts, I love to hear the evidence. You can't have the evidence that, well, one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw my passed away mother walk. Like, okay, that's not evidence. It's not evidence, like real hard evidence, right? And I used to go as a kid to like some of these abandoned houses where I used to grow up there, and I would go up there sometimes with friends, and they would leave, and my mom would get mad at me for like not coming home. It'd be like dark out, and I would sit in these attics. And I would freak myself out, but I wouldn't see any ghosts. I could never. I'm a skeptic. I am by default a skeptic, but I want to hear the evidence. I would love hearing people, not just personal experience. I don't care. I could tell you about 3 pink elephants flying around the corner, and then if by default I have to believe you because you told me a ghost story, you got to believe me because the 3 pink elephants flying. I'm sorry, man. I said it, so you got to believe it. Not enough, right? Not enough. Which is fine, right? We all have our own belief system. That's fine. So we are going to do Elon Musk's now. So yesterday was Elon Musk, his plans to go to Mars, and they're pretty thorough, but there's a lot of problems. Today we're going to go after every single way you die going to Mars. There's a lot of them. It's basically at every juncture of the flight. The main thing is the microgravity for 9 months. And then you get to Mars and you have 30% gravity. It's a problem, my friend. It's a problem. Serious problem, my friend. And then the radiation. All the way to Mars. Like there's just absolute oodles amounts of radiation, especially if there's solar flares and things like that going on that absolutely, rip our solar system full of radioactive material. And then you get to Mars and there's basically no protection. 1% of the atmosphere of Earth. There's no magnetic field. So your habitat has to be 100% secure. And if it's not, it's no good. You will not find presents in your shoes. If you don't celebrate Three Kings Day, I think 1.5 billion people celebrated Three Kings Day. Spain, France, Italy, the Caribbean, Latin America. How come we don't? It's like presents. You get presents in your shoes. That's what they do. Like the Magi, right? They're magic users in Dungeons and Dragons. Illusionists. Maybe one's an illusionist. And they put in presents into your shoes. If they don't fit into your shoes, they put it beside your shoes. Which I don't know. The shoes. It's a big thing. Shoes. And then you get the rosca cake. You get to cut it. You get the, all that stuff. 20 years in Los Angeles. Some of my best friends were from Mexico, right? So it's fun. It's fun. And then today, I think a lot of people are taking down their Christmas tree finally. But that's what we're doing today. We got some news space news. It's kind of a slow day. I mean, I had to put the video out at 6 p.m. Eastern. Got it out. Are humans engineered? And I have stuff in there. Some like I mentioned when I started the show, the AI. If I would have had to film the stuff that's in that video, if I had to, like, like I was a screenwriter, production, been there, done that in Los Angeles, it would be, oh my God, the amount of money it would have cost me. Now, is it a perfect, but what took me to do this video, and I'll urge you to go watch the video on Dimension Zero. What took me to do that video? Yes, I'm a screenwriter, so I have a lot of experience and won a lot of awards in storytelling. So it sure helps. And of course, I know a lot about AI because I've been deep diving it for the last 2 years. This is the first time in the last week. The first time in the last week that I've honestly thought, okay, now this is accelerated far beyond what I thought would have, because a lot of my screenplays that I win awards with around the world, I wanted to do graphic novels with, and a lot of the problem is trying to create characters that you can just set it up, like create the character and then use a character name and establish that in every place that you want. Well, they basically have that to a very significant degree in video now, in actual video. And you have to know how to do it. You have to know how to do the prompts. But it is it is pretty amazing. So if and give it a like. It's YouTube. YouTube is a freaking brutal place, man. It's like you got to spend 1 or 2 years doing slave labor, and then they'll give you a few morsels. Here you go, kid. There you go. That's a little bit. It's enough for you. Keep going. Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. So, but first, I wouldn't mind getting into. Actually, I do have my ceremonial. I only have about a half a cup. I'm only having half a cup of a glass of wine today, just a half a cup. I didn't sleep much last night because I was working late. Got up early, went to the gym, didn't go back to sleep, and work. So I actually drink the wine because after the show, it's an hour, a half hour to an hour before I actually go to sleep. So it helps me put me to, happy sleepies. So, but can you still say Merry 2026? Happy 2026? Happy. Well, I'm saying it anyway. So,
Merry Christmas.
Defense Strouder 390. Going to Mars is like sitting in a hole in the ground, one system failure away from death. That's exactly it. You're literally, one system breaks down on Mars, you're toast. It's over. Bye-bye. The whole colony. Ciao bella. And we're going to go over that. But I do want, we are going to do some news, a little bit of news. I got an itch right there. When you got a beard, like any guys that, how you kind of like, sometimes you can't get that itch. You're like you're like a dog trying to scratch yourself. You know what I mean? But there is some, what are we going to do? Okay. I've been wanting to do this one for what? That was weird. Okay. All right. That's cool. If we go like that, I got the if you got it on the screen, I got the elves, the elf witch female. That's why I put that as the theme today. I don't know why, but we haven't had her on for a while. So just as a little backdrop, we can add that to stage, can't we? Oh, there we go. It's my man. That's what we call efficiency. Can I get rid of? Yeah, I can. Okay. So now this goes along with, you guys have heard of the Kessler effect, right? The Kessler syndrome, Kessler effect. This is with, and I think that there is a significant amount of consternation that is happening. I think Elon Musk realizes that the almost 50,000 satellites that he wants to put up in orbit is going to be a problem. There's a Spanish satellite they just launched that just got hit with a piece of debris. One piece of debris hitting, it creates more debris, which creates more debris. Eventually, you get critical mass of debris. Watch the movie Gravity. If you haven't watched Gravity, it is a really amazing watch. It's a great movie with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney, the Clooney man. Lowering the satellite's results. So SpaceX lowering orbits of 45. Now, I wanted to do this for a while. It actually came out on January 2nd. But I think this is really important because it exemplifies, you're going to hear a lot more about this. A lot more about this. SpaceX lowering orbits of 4,400 Starlink satellites for safety's sake. Lowering the satellites results in condensing Starlink's orbits and will increase space safety in several ways. He is putting 44,500 satellites. He is putting up alone himself, right? So that is, it's a lot of little things flying. I mean, granted, there's a lot of space up there. It's a lot of space. We'll see mass migration of SpaceX Starlink satellites this year. All Starlink broadband spacecraft currently orbiting 342 miles or 550 kilometers or so above Earth. About 4,400 will descend to an altitude of roughly 298 miles over the course of 2026. There are two main reasons for the move, and this is the important part, according to Michael Nichols, Vice President of Starlink Engineering at SpaceX, who announced the plan via X. X. Do you guys like that name X? It's still hard to get used to X. I guess eventually you get used to it, right? I guess eventually. I think, yeah, shoot. I don't know. I think Musk is the only guy that could get X.com, right? You don't get single letter words, .coms, unless you got a stink load of money. And who's got a stink load of money? Well, that's not you and me. that we know. As solar minimum approaches, atmospheric density decreases, which means the ballistic decay time at any given altitude increases. Lowering will mean an 80% reduction in ballistic decay time in solar minimum, or 4+ years, reduced to a few months. And basically, they need to find ways. They need to find ways to get this garbage out of circulation. And now commercial planes, are genuinely concerned about falling debris. And you got to think, how bad is it going to be 50 years from now? Correspondingly, the number of debris objects and planned satellite constellations is significantly lower below 500 kilometers, reducing the aggregate likelihood of a collision. So, I guess if you read that, what he's saying is like, there's a bigger chance of collision at this orbital altitude. We're not really doing it to protect anything. We're just lowering it to protect our satellites, just so there's less debris. So, Space Debris, Time to Act documentary, ESA short. Space Debris, Time to Act. It is time to act. Some people will argue it's actually too late to act. Nevertheless, if a satellite does fail on orbit, we want it to deorbit as quickly as possible. That is very true. These actions will further improve the safety of the constellation, particularly with difficult to control risks such as uncoordinated maneuvers and launches by other satellite operators. Because they don't know what other satellite operators are doing, right? Everyone's got satellites in there doing this and that. There's thousands upon thousands on various different orbits. But so anyway, that's the. This is an interesting comment. There's I usually don't read the comments, but T Mariner here makes a really good point. This is a really good point. It won't do SpaceX any good. China and Russia are run by dictators who stay in power for life by brutally censoring their people. Both have created mini Kessler syndromes by spreading thousands of damaging pieces in orbit, by blowing up their own satellites to test their weapons. And that is part of the problem. We have these dictators who really Ultimately, they don't give a damn. Well, they will give a damn when everyone wakes up and there's no GPS. And the stupid thing is, and the guy makes another point here. This is the stupid thing. If there's World War III, what's the first thing that gets wiped out? Go ahead, blow up all of our satellites. Because if you blow up all of our satellites, it's going to wipe out every satellite. Okay? Then it's just pure conventional war, and it just becomes, oh, geez, humanity. that's all we're. Whoa, what the hell happened there, then? Yeah, that's there. So, hey, Doggy's in the house. It's a stupid name, X. That's what Doggy says. It's kind of, yeah. I mean, it's X.com when you think about it. Like, I mean, can I get M.com? I mean, can I get that? I'd like to have like O.com. O for O. Oh my God. That's part of the news gamut. Is there any, like, what Doggy, it's easy to remember. It is easy to remember. X.com. It is. It's very easy to remember. Yeah. 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 Sorry, what was that website again? X.com. Let me write that down. Say that again. Sorry, is that EX? I know. It's not. I know. It's not like what it. You got to have fun with science. If you can't have fun with science, what can you have fun with? Your dog? No. If you can't have fun with science, you won't have fun with your dog. No, you won't. It is just a matter of fact, my friends. Let me see what else I got. Usually I write. I'm so busy. And I just getting the video out. I did not have time to get all the news stories that were worthy news stories out there. What is let's take a look. Oh, there is one. There's one that came out. This is really interesting. Now, if you whoa. Mamma mia, let me go. So, what's going on there? Oh, okay, there we go. So this is something that is pretty crazy. Astronomers discovered the earliest, hottest galaxy cluster, and this literally came out like 1 or 2 hours ago. It popped up. There's always like great stories that come up right around an hour or two before the show. And this one, astronomers discover the earliest, hottest galaxy cluster in the universe, and it breaks all the rules. It's the same thing like the black hole UHZ1, right? It's a black hole with 40 million solar masses, and it's like 400 million years after the birth, after the Big Bang. So this is a galaxy cluster, appears hotter and more mature than it should be for its age, challenging what we knew about how these cities of galaxies form. And this is it's artist rendering. I'm not even sure what there's a galaxy. There's 3 galaxies in this. I'm not even sure what the rendering is supposed to try and suggest. But a seemingly impossible cluster of more than 30 galaxies crammed into a volume of just 500,000 light years across. For perspective, the Milky Way galaxy is between 100 and 120,000 light years. For perspective, has been found in the universe just 1.4 billion years after the Big Bang, and with a temperature that breaks all of the rules. The discovery by astronomers using Chile's Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array ALMA of the galaxy cluster labeled SPT 2349-5. Of course, it makes challenges our understanding of how quickly galaxies and galaxy clusters were able to form. This tells us that something in the early universe, likely 3 recently discovered supermassive black holes in the cluster, were already pumping huge amounts of energy into the surroundings and shaping the young cluster much earlier and more strongly than we thought, said Scott Chapman, a professor of astronomy at Dalhousie University in Nova Scotia, Canada. That's a picture of the early universe, I believe. But let's see what they're saying about galaxy clusters are filled with fog and hot gas, especially 1.4 billion years ago, right? That is like the hot soup of the universe. Wadazi Zhou, who was a PhD candidate at University of British Columbia in Canada and lead author of the paper describing the findings, refers to as a galaxy cluster's atmosphere. In most clusters, the intra-cluster medium can reach tens or even hundreds of millions of degrees Celsius. In most clusters, the intra-cluster medium can reach tens or even hundreds of millions of degrees Celsius. So there's not a whole lot of life. Life doesn't survive, biology doesn't survive that. Astrophysicists thought it would take many billions of years for the intra-cluster medium to grow so hot, but this suggests otherwise. We expect to see such a hot cluster atmospheres. We didn't expect to see such a hot cluster atmosphere so early in cosmic history. This gas is at least 5 times hotter than predicted, and even hotter and more energetic than what we find in many present-day clusters. So that's the main gist of it. So basically, they are finding stuff in the early universe that it's breaking the rules, right? It's breaking the rules. Like the things that we thought. I think that is basically the progression of science, right? This is the progression of everything. Catchy. I've heard that. You look like that Chuck Norris guy. Oh, and by the way, we're doing Chuck Norris tomorrow because I was so consumed with doing our humans engineered video, which I finally released at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, yada, yada, yada. I did not get a chance to get everything put together. So it's kind of because every Wednesday is Chuck Norris Day, right? We do 12 of the best Chuck Norris memes. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset. They're going to be calling me names. Chuck Norris would never do it on a Thursday. I actually called Chuck. I called Chuck. I said, Chuck, hello? I said, is Thursday okay? Because I like everything dude. He goes, yeah, it's fine. That's fine. That's all he said. He hung up. Is it okay, Chuck, if I do it tomorrow? Yeah, that's fine. Is he mad? Should I? That's when I told Chuck. I said, Chuck, are you still there? Are you on the phone still? You want to go? Bike racks, 5 o'clock. Bike racks. No, make it 7 o'clock. Bike racks, 7 o'clock Eastern. I'll meet you at the bike racks, Chuck Norris. Luckily, I had a show to do, so I didn't show up. So that's okay. I know Chuck is. He's still waiting there. He'll wait there a long time. Chuck will wait there a long time for me. Unless you hear the door crash open, and in which case it's an 85-year-old Chuck Norris coming to kick my ass. "85 years old, he's still walking up mountains." You see that, Chuck Norris? He's walking up mountains, Chuck Norris. I mean, I'm a kickboxer. I still work out. I'm 58. I still got 27 years on him, right? He'd still kick my ass. Right? We went into the ring. He's like, don't. Wouldn't be fair. Hey, doggy, we'll be back in a bit. Okay, my friend. What are we going to do? So let's keep this show. You know, one thing that happened yesterday, Congress, which I think was really good, Congress said no to the cost cutting at NASA. I mean, NASA is pumping out so many probes and satellites at such a cost-effective. It's like, and I always say, maybe I say this almost every show. Science is the only superpower. It's the only superpower we got. The Avengers don't exist. It's funny. I did a video on the Flash, right? And why, if basically the physics of the Flash, and if you could move his speed, why you would just burn up and die and basically cause a fireball and destroy everything around you. So many people, they were put in the comments, but he's got the Speed Force. You do realize the Speed Force is not real. Okay? This is a physics thing that we're doing. Physics exercise. We're doing the what if someone did that, but he's got the Speed Force. It doesn't happen because he's got the Speed Force. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Just do your comments in the thing. Yeah, he's got the Speed Force. Okay. You know, when you get these DC and Marvel fans, and they're just uber fans, right? Uber. It's like when you question anything with Tony Stark, the arc reactor can't work because you can't. If he had that much energy in the arc reactor, he would just melt, right? It's just the law of thermodynamics. He would just melt. The second he used any of his, you gotta dissipate the heat. With that kind of energy in one place, you gotta dissipate the heat. You can't dissipate it into your body because you basically barbecue yourself in a split second. So I've done a number of Iron Man physics videos. What do people say? Tony Stark would figure it out. Okay. Tony Stark will figure it out. Well, I guess it's Dr. Doom now, right? Dr. Doom would figure it out. The Dr. Doom. Are you guys looking forward to Dr. Doom? I mean, it's Zara, I agree. We need to stop. Oh, you think we should stop funding NASA? I think the opposite. I mean, there's a lot of things we could stop funding, like giving other countries $200 billion a year just so they agree with us. I think science is like literally the only superpower. It is the only superpower. I do see online how a lot of people, and I get why people have that opinion. I get it. I understand the idea that there's, their budget's only like $24.5 billion, right? It's not like, what was the Somali fraud thing in Minnesota? Was it 10 billion? Even by me just mentioning it, I think I'll probably get a few nasty comments. But the thing is, granted, not all the probes, these probes leave. A lot of what NASA does, I think, majority of what NASA does is around the Earth and physics and everything like that. I get what I understand. There's a we are primitive compared to the other side. What is the other side? Sometimes I think I'd like to go to the other side. That other side? Like the other side? Zara thinks we need to focus on Earth, not what's beyond our technology or beyond our... but look, so they just sent 2 probes to Mars, right, to study the weather, and it only cost $80 million. 2 probes. This is how efficient they're getting. They're getting so... not in this life, right? Gotcha. No, that's what I figured. Cheers, Zara. To your health. To all of you, to your health. We are going to we're getting close to the... Now, if you want to... If you jump on the recording of the stream and you want to get right to the Mars stuff, because always the major segments at the back, just jump through all the chit chat and the news and the other stuff that we do. Get right to the back if you want to see the goodies for Mars. There's actually a lot of stuff. There's actually another Mars thing. Allegedly. South Park? Michael? Is that what we're doing? South Park and Michael? Allegedly. Camera. Yeah, so this is kind of an interesting little tidbit, just to kind of throw down on it. Camera on NASA Mars probe snaps its 100,000th photo of the red planet. I need a drink. 100,000th. 100,000. Why is my heater going? I'm wondering, why am I sweating? How many times do I do that? Like every second show, I'm like, why is my heater on? First published December 17th, 2025. It's a little bit older. Why did I just get it a couple of days ago? Now, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter's HiRISE camera just notched a big milestone. There it is. That is the 100,000th. This view of a region called Syrtis Major is from the 100,000th image captured by NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter using the HiRISE camera. The image was snapped on October 2nd, 2025, over nearly 20 years. Wow, it took 20 years to take the photo. HiRISE has helped scientists understand how the red planet's surface is constantly changing. And it is. Like I say, anyway, I am a firm believer. Anyone that goes to Mars will die. Let's just be straight out honest. You're going on the first Mars mission, you're dead. How you die? Well, we'll go over the video, and we'll see every way that you can die going to Mars, from launch, everything in between, to landing. Yesterday we did the whole plan. Here's Musk's plan. Did the video for that one. Image number 100,000, which was captured on October 7th, shows mesa and dunes within Syrtis Major, a region about 50 miles southeast of Jezero Crater, which NASA's Perseverance rover is exploring, NASA officials said in a statement on Tuesday. And that is basically the meat and potatoes of that one. Basically, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like when you see these Mars, all these rovers on Mars, they're lasting for the most part. They last longer than they're supposed to. The engineering's pretty good. And that is another thing. Zara, I'm not so easily convinced. Sorry, need to see something to believe. I get it. Asteroids are cooler than space travel, in my opinion. But you know what? We're sending probes to asteroids. The fact that we've developed the technology to be able to land on an asteroid, because it took a while, right, to be able to land on. You're talking about an asteroid which is pretty small. If you're calling it like 5-10 miles across, and it's 200 miles away, or 200 million miles away. I mean, that's like probably trying to like do a chip shot from California to New York on a golfing shot, and get a hole in one from 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 miles away. It's pretty amazing. So if we do it like Apophis, right? Apophis 2029, it's gonna come pretty close to Earth. One little course change, and it's coming to Earth. Dad, what is that? Oh, that's Apophis coming to wipe us out, son. We got to know how to land on those things. And the movie Armageddon doesn't do a great job, right? If you guys remember Armageddon? You guys remember the movie Armageddon? Now, I shouldn't laugh. Armageddon, and as far as today's movies go, Armageddon is actually... Sorry, Ben Affleck, right? The quality of movies that are coming out today, we look back and we think, you know what, guys, it wasn't as bad as I thought. The movie industry is in huge trouble when you look back 20 years ago and movies that you thought were pretty bad start looking pretty good. That's how you know. I mean, I do love talking movies. Oh, and theoretically we got to do more movie, because I'm a sci-fi screenwriter, fantasy. I do all that, right? That's my wheelhouse. Oh, Zara just wrote an entire story. Zara, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this out loud. Okay. I honestly don't know anything about the subject, so anything I say would be my own made up perception that could influence someone weak minded, and I don't want to be responsible for that. Zara, you're a good person. You're a good person. But we are here to change people's minds, right? One way or the other. One way, like, so I might not believe in aliens visiting Earth. Don't believe in it. And I have plenty of reasons why. First off, there's zero evidence. Zero. But I'm always happy to have people come on. I will never lambaste someone else's opinion on a subject because that is literally what we're here for, to discuss these things, right? To discuss aliens, to discuss, did aliens help build the pyramids? Like history, like, oh my God, History Channel stuff, right? The History Channel used to do history stuff. Now they do ancient aliens. They they don't even do history. They do, shit. That's okay. Oh, that's okay. What exactly is an alien and how would you describe one? Well, I guess some sort of, it would have to be intelligent life that originates from a planet other than Earth, right? And anything that, any sort of life form that does not, I mean, you can have alien single-celled parameciums as long as they originated on Mars or, you know, Alpha Centauri or some other star system that is not on our atmosphere would be an alien, or someone that's crossing the border into the United States. That would be an alien. Oh, sorry, that's an illegal alien. Oh man, I know someone's gonna like rip me on that, right? Someone's gonna, well, you're a racist, you little guy. Oh, you know what? Sometimes a scratch feels really good. Well, then I don't believe it. I don't believe in aliens then in that description. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of people believe, right? All the UAPs. I think Creature Creative, he believes in that. I think I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't put words in his mouth. I think there's a few people that actually are more prone to believe. We're going to be doing a lot of shows. There's actually another segment we're going to do with that age of disclosure. There's a part there that I wanted to do today. I wrote it down because of the video release that took me so long to get out. I'm going to hopefully do it tomorrow. But aliens, yeah, like our aliens visiting us, that is it's a big topic. It's a big talk and so I always love hearing the other side. And that's the idea. Let's talk about it. Let's argue it in a way. Let's get the evidence. You know, and let's find the answer. That is fiction in my mind as well. Yeah, I mean that's. You should probably pay attention to what is actually going on. Well, yeah, 8431 dessert. That is good advice, right? And I think that's basically the same thing that Zara is saying. There are people that are, many people are sleeping in their cars that don't have, you know, even you hear about the stories with food, right? The food stamps. I mean, there's a lot of people that are abusing food stamps. A lot of people. But there's some people that got caught up who really need it, who got cut off as well. The terror of being in that situation, right? And America is giving billions of dollars to other countries just for, I don't know for what, just because. You get a list of how much money America is. It's just bribery money, right? Be our friends and we'll just give you money every year. Here's some money. Does anyone give money to America? Does anyone, except the citizens? Whatever country you're with, Canada, United States, Australia, Spain, UK, Italy, France, any other country, you are being taxed to fund crap. Pretty much crap, right? Yeah, it's a tough It's a. If I knew the answer, how would that change your life? Yeah, and I always say, you know what, Zara, you make some good points, because I always say, look, you can't change the world, but you can change your part of the world, and that's what you got to focus on. Like Greta Greenberg, or Greta, what's her name? Greta, whatever her name is, trying to change the world. She's done nothing. She's done. You have a better chance of changing your part of the world, right? That's kind of like where your effort should be applied. They are from here. The aliens are from here. Well, they wouldn't be aliens though, right? Dessert. What would be next if you already knew life's mysteries? That's true. Well, there would always be a mystery. And the example that I use, let's say you could go, let's say I love dimension, like doing videos on different dimensions, spatial and temporal. So temporal is based on time and spatial is based on space. So if you got a fourth dimension, you've got basically what is the tesseract here in the third dimension, because we cannot show the fourth dimension in the third dimension. And then you have the fifth dimension. Then you have the sixth. If you add time in there, you will have powers over time, right? So in the fourth dimension, you can go backwards, forwards in time within this universe. In the fifth dimension, you can go backwards, forwards over time in multiple universes. And it keeps growing until in the ninth. So if you're in the ninth dimension, you think a ninth dimension being is powerful. Yes, it would be under spatial and or temporal or both, whatever, how you define dimension. But a ninth dimension being would not be able to, and this is sort of, I have a video on the power of the 10 dimensions. And this is, of course, it's not fact. It hasn't been proven. But in terms of trying to discuss it from a philosophical standpoint, you have the ninth dimension. And the ninth dimensional being would not be able to create the laws and rules that govern certain universes. They would just be available to the ninth dimensional being to create these universes, to usurp over them or whatever. And they too would be wondering, well, where did these come from? I mean, I don't know if there's a 10th dimension. Like, I'm ninth dimension. I don't. Where did these things come from? And of course, there's a 10th dimensional dude sitting up top there going, everything comes from me. And that's the idea that if there's a God or an all-powerful deity, it's probably a 10th dimensional being that controls, which will be so far beyond our comprehension to describe, right? It would be absolutely, we couldn't, there's no definition of it. But it would have complete control over the creation of every single universe, multiverse, dimension, whatnot. And so on every level up, there's always going to be mysteries, right? How does this? I think it's an impossible thing for a life or our existence to be without mystery, right? I think you can't solve them all. Be nice. That would be terrible not to have any more mystery. You might as well cease to exist at that point. Or you could just play a lot of pool, drink some beer, have some chicken wings for the rest of your life. That might work just well too, Oh, Zara's getting deep. Zara's got her own channel as well too. She is she's a thinker. Your mind is your power. Not chasing for the answer, but observing everything in a 3D and first-person point of view simultaneously without a need for conclusion. Not facts, opinion. Yeah, well, that could be, yeah. Well, how everyone's got their own way of, I don't think that's a bad, I think that's pretty definitive, pretty clear. I mean, it's like forming your belief system, right? That's very similar to how I would put my belief system in. How do you form your beliefs? In religion, the belief system is blind faith. Blind faith is the belief system for religion. It doesn't work for me. I can't create a system of belief under that auspice. For me, it's the scientific method. This is how I base, not what someone tells me. I believe in ghosts because this is what happened to me last night. I was up and I walked into the kitchen. I had a glass of milk and I turned around and standing in front of me was an apparition. Excuse me? That's not proof. You're not going to get me like, I mean, if you know, right? You know what I'm saying, right? That's, you know, what is your belief system? How do you form your beliefs? And you should be consistent with everything that, all right, Zara, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Ciao, Bella. Let's get it. You know what? Let's get into Mars, shall we? Let's do Mars. This is all the ways that you will perish. Let me set this thing up here. Let's get right to Mars. So this is a video I did, and you go in deep on how every single way from launch to landing on Mars to trying to live on Mars. This is how people will perish on Mars. It's kind of, you know, but you gotta explore these things, right? You gotta look you gotta find the good, you gotta find the bad. But the reality is, I do believe that everyone going to Mars on that first mission is going to be a martyr, a Mars martyr. I guess that's pretty kind of cool, a Mars martyr.
Is the dream of colonizing Mars an inevitable death sentence for those who volunteer for the mission? This is a step-by-step timeline showing how the crew could suffer, deteriorate, or even die in an instant during each phase of their journey to Mars. Imagine stepping onto a spacecraft knowing that this may be the last time you ever breathe Earth's air, feel its gravity, or see its brilliant blue sky. The mission to Mars begins with its first potentially deadly event, the launch. The spacecraft rides a towering column of exploding fuel, taking the crew from the comfort of Earth's embrace to the lethal void of outer space. One failed valve, one electrical glitch, or just a single miscalculation will turn the most advanced rocket into a fireball within seconds.
And one thing I'm pretty impressed on, now it's pretty impressive, the amount of rocket launches that actually happen. There's very few accidents, right? There's very few, and the ones that do happen are basically planned, right? The ones that happened last year with Starship were basically planned with SpaceX, right? They knew it was going to explode, like they expected it not to. It was part of the game plan, but the success rate is becoming absolutely incredible.
Beyond Earth's atmosphere,
really
the void is waiting, a place where the margin of error is zero. The trip to Mars lasts 6 to 9 months, and it's all in microgravity. From the very first minute, your body begins breaking down. Without bones, they begin to atrophy. Calcium leaches from your skeleton, leaving your bones brittle and weak. Your muscles waste away no matter how much you exercise. And your heart, it becomes weaker and weaker as it adapts to an environment where it no longer has to fight against gravity.
And I think that's one of the biggest things, right, is the atrophy, the microgravity, or basically zero gravity. 9 months going to Mars, and then you get there, you only have 30% gravity. Our bodies were made for 1G. 1G, that's what we were made for. This is one of the biggest problems. I don't know, I have never heard anything what the fix is. You just cannot assume that we're going to live on Mars at 30% gravity and not expect, we don't know what's going to happen. What if someone has a baby at 30% gravity?
On a Mars mission, you'll arrive in a significantly weakened condition compared to when you left the surface of Earth. And as your body deteriorates, unseen deadly radiation assaults you relentlessly every minute of every day. The spacecraft doesn't have a magnetic field like the Earth, and no thick atmosphere for protection. Cosmic rays pierce your DNA, mutating your cells, increasing your risk of cancer with every passing day. During the long journey to Mars, you live in a small, fragile metal tube with a handful of other people, all exposed to the same lethal conditions. The air you breathe is endlessly recycled. The water you drink comes from your own filtered sweat and urine. There is no fresh anything, no break from the stale environment that you and the entire crew are utterly confined to.
And one thing goes wrong. That's all you need, right? One thing goes wrong. And it's game over. Now, they might be able to repair some of this stuff, but this stuff has to work flawlessly. Not just to Mars, 9 months. It's got to work flawlessly from Earth all the way to Mars. All the life support systems, the water recapture, everything.
Your mind and the minds of your fellow crew members begin to feel the strain of being crammed into such a tiny, restricted space. The psychological strain creeps in slowly, and it builds. Months of isolation, knowing that you're millions of miles from any sort of respite or help, and even in the controlled environment of the ship, a simple infection, a ruptured appendix, or a sudden heart attack would most certainly result in death.
And those are other things that we just take for granted, right? Heart attack. What if someone does get cancer? You need surgery for appendicitis. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. Like whatever the anything health is, basically you're screwed. Do you send a surgeon? Well, the surgeon doesn't know everything. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I never hear the answers to any of these things. They're always surface level things. So I mean, if I had Elon Musk getting across from me, give me the answer. What are you going to do about? What if 30% gravity on Mars results in heart attacks, strokes? We don't know. The human body is not conditioned for that.
There's no hospital or advanced medical care in deep space. You are your own doctor, and you have almost nothing to work with. Then, when you finally arrive at Mars, you face one of the most dangerous phases, the landing. Mars has an atmosphere too thin to slow you down. It's 1% the density of Earth's.
The landing is, I think 40% of all landings on Mars fail. That would be the scariest part of the entire trip. I hope these parachutes aren't enough.
Big enough to generate searing heat during entry, but not enough to allow you to safely parachute to the surface. To land without a fatal crash, you must execute a perfect sequence of atmospheric braking, heat shields, and rocket-assisted maneuvers to slow down enough for a safe landing. A single error means smashing into the Martian surface at high speed, and with it, instant death.
I mean, that would be the good thing, though, right? Because it is instant death. I mean, you go crashing, you smack Mars. It's like, well, it's kind of like being on the Titan submersible. Yes, it's a horrible way to go, but literally you go in a split second. A split second. You don't feel anything. So if there's an upside to crash landing on Mars, you won't feel anything.
Even robotic missions have struggled with this, and a human lander is exponentially more complex. Approximately 60% of all Mars landing attempts have ended in failure.
So I had it the other way around. So 60, I thought 40%. I even did the video. This is my video. So I remember it incorrectly. My data is incorrectly in my brain. 60% of all landings fail on Mars. How do you feel about that? You still want to go? What's the chance of you dying? Well, it's at least 60%. At least, minimum. But that's if everything else has a 0% chance, from the takeoff to the 9-month trip there to everything else, it's a 60% chance of dying. Do you still want to go to Mars?
Which means only 40% have landed safely. Let's make the assumption that you make it down alive and in one piece. You step outside into a world that wants you dead in every way you could imagine. The air is nearly pure carbon dioxide, and so thin your blood would boil if your suit failed. The temperature can drop to as low as -100 degrees Celsius. Solar radiation and cosmic rays hammer the surface constantly because Mars has no magnetic field. There is no protection in this lethal environment. And then there's the dust, fine, toxic, electrostatically charged, ready to infiltrate your suit, your lungs, and every piece of equipment you rely on to stay alive. Your first priority? It's to set up your habitat quickly, safely, and with zero margin of error. It must be airtight, 100% shielded from radiation, thermally regulated, and perfectly reliable with no room for mechanical failure.
If you set up, I mean, you got to think all of the life support systems on the habitat. So you got to set it all up. You got to put it together so that they all work. I mean, we can't even buy a car or a truck. Like you buy a brand new car and it's like, oh my God, this isn't working. I got 500 miles on the thing. Every few thousand miles, I got to get an oil change. What is the maintenance? How many spare parts do you send for every life support system on Mars? And if one of those systems fail, just one of those systems fail on Mars, you're dead. There's no other way to put it. You're dead.
Does fail, you will suffocate. Your blood will boil and you'll freeze in minutes, all at the same time. Life support systems have to recycle every breath, every drop of water, every molecule of waste. You cannot afford any leaks, zero malfunctions, or any sort of contamination. But the problem is all machines fail eventually. And on Mars, a failing oxygen pump or broken seal isn't an inconvenience, it's a death sentence.
You also have to think about all that dust, right? That fine dust. You got these massive dust storms on Mars. It's going to get into the machinery. It's going to get into everything. We don't know what it's like to operate machinery. What we do from a rover perspective, and some of these rovers are lasting pretty, but from a life support system perspective, water capture, oxygen capture. You gotta make food. You can't rely on Earth all the time for having supply ships, because some of those ships aren't going to make it. But that dust on Mars.
Then comes food. The Martian soil is laced with perchlorates, chemicals that would eventually poison you if ingested. To grow digestible food on Mars, you need sealed greenhouses with carefully balanced light, heat, nutrients, and water. It would take enormous amounts of energy and constant maintenance to produce even a fraction of the calories you need to survive. Most of your food would have to come from Earth in resupply missions that take months to arrive. Miss one shipment due to launch delays or failures, and you face slow starvation.
And you got to think, what if SpaceX one day goes bankrupt, right? Like, who's responsible for sending the ships? You want the government to be responsible to sending those ships? Resupply ships to Mars? You're going to live on Mars, and hopefully the U.S. Congress has got his poop together that they're going to continue to send. I mean, obviously this is, if Elon Musk is doing it, it's a private mission. But you're going to rely on spare parts, all of these things, and if they don't come, you are foobarred.
You also need water, but Mars won't give that to you very easily. You would have to locate and mine buried ice and then purify it, or endlessly recycle the water you already have. Every liter is precious, every mistake in storage or filtration, catastrophic. All this time, your body continues to decline in the low-gravity environment. Mars only has 38% of Earth's gravity. Your muscles will never rebuild, your bones will never regain their strength, and your cardiovascular system will keep adapting downward to a weakened state.
And I've never heard the solution for that. I've never heard someone I like Elon Musk. I do. I'm a fan. But if I had him on an interview, it would be part of my stable of questions. I've been saying 30%, 38% gravity. How do you get around that? Are you just assuming that the human body can exist within an environment that is 38% gravity? I say it can't. We live, die. Even human birth is at 1 Gs. Everything we do is at 1 Gs. We will atrophy. And we are getting into, the video does get into pregnancy and birth. There's some concepts around that are pretty interesting. But no one, especially the radiation and the 38% gravity, I have yet to hear. So you're going to strap into a running machine 3-4 hours per day to try and simulate, so it pulls you down, just like you do in the space station, right? It pulls you down. It simulates this kind of idea that you get the exercise and get the blood circulating throughout the body. That's a lot of exercise every single day. Just to, I guess if it means survival, you'll probably do it, right?
Stay long enough, and your body will become permanently adapted to the weaker pull of Mars' gravity. Return to Earth, and its full gravity could cripple or even kill you. For the first Mars cruise, there is no realistic way back. It's a one-way journey into permanent exile. While your body degrades, your mind faces new dangers. You're confined to a tiny base with the same handful of people. The landscape outside never changes, just endless barren rock under a thin pinkish sky. There's no rain, no forests, no oceans. Communication with Earth is delayed by up to 20 minutes each way. In an emergency, there's no help, no one to call. You are utterly alone. The psychological strain becomes a slow, creeping threat. Anxiety, depression, paranoia, and conflict within the crew would eventually tear the mission apart from within.
And Michael says, Michael has a really good comment there. That's actually interesting. We'll talk about that when the video is done. You make an interesting point. We'll talk about that after the video. Yeah.
Even if you somehow hold everything together, your mind, your body, your habitat, the planet itself, will slowly weigh on your body and mind. There's the dust storms that can rage for months, choking solar panels and shutting down power. Life support systems will age, break, and need replacement parts that you can't manufacture on Mars. Medical emergencies will happen, and you won't have the tools or specialists to deal with them.
And I think that's a big one. Right? Unfortunately, cancer happens, right? You're not going to have sophisticated chemotherapy and radiation or other sort of types of therapies. Some people argue that is actually what ends up killing you. I can't argue that. But appendicitis, all these other things, the myriad of issues that you can have, just the basic things like everything from insulin to Advil and everything in between will have to be stocked up.
Even the best technology we have on Earth fails regularly. And on Mars, there's no backup, no spare parts beyond what you bring, no endless supply chains to rescue you. Over years, entropy will claim the colony piece by piece, and if anyone ever dreams of truly colonizing Mars, the long-term problems multiply. Can a human pregnancy survive in low gravity and high radiation?
That's a big question. Can a human look? Humans are what they are. We're bunnies. We're bunnies that way, right? Human beings like to, like to do the nasty. And pregnancies, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter what the rules are. It's going to happen. If there's a no sex. Well, okay. If you say there's no sex, there'll be lots of it, right? They'll have to make one of the colony areas like the orgy room or something like that. That's the way humans are. It'll be unspoken. But if there's a pregnancy, what happens to the pregnancy at 38% gravity? If it survives and it grows, you're going to have 10-foot tall kids, right? 10-foot tall kids that will be long and slender. It'll be Avatar. They'll be red Avatar beings is what's going to happen. We don't know what's actually going to happen, though, if it would even survive, if the mother would survive a 38% gravity pregnancy.
Would children born on Mars even survive? If they did, would their development be permanently altered by the alien environment? Would it slowly kill them, as their frail bodies were meant to grow in the environment of Earth?
Just seeing kids, when I was putting this video together, I had to get these, trying to find images of kids in spacesuits is very difficult. I even tried, using AI to try and excuse me, to develop the images. But trying to find kids in spacesuits was much harder than you would think. There's no video. Now today I could do it. Just a few months later with the AI that's going on, it is insane what you can do. Just a few months later. But this image was kind of this really, you've got 3 kids on Mars. So you got a family growing on Mars, right? Kids who have been born, I don't think they would look like this. I think they'd be very different given the low gravity if they survived. And we can have that's a great conversation. What would a baby, if it survived pregnancy, if it survived birth, if it survived the first few years, what would it look like? Now, I actually started a video on this about 6 months ago, and I could not finish it because I couldn't get the visuals. Now I can do it. Like the AI stuff that has just come out in the last few days, guys, I'm telling you, it is insane. But that is a different subject. But this, like the picture of seeing kids in spacesuits, it's not something you see every day, right? That's pretty.
We don't know, and the first attempt might answer that question in the harshest way possible. Mars offers no kindness,
family,
no
right?
safety net.
You got the Mars family. Is that going to be like the next generation? This is what you see. You got the I'm going to assume the taller one is the father. Now it could be the mother because we got a lot of tall girls out there, Keith Urban, although, and Nicole Kidman, right? Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Keith Urban's I think he's like 5'8" or 5'9", right? Kidman's like 5'11". She's a tall one. They just finished their, yeah. But anyway, but we know that's the kid. But is that the picture that's coming from Mars in 20, 30 years?
No second chances. It's not a new home. It's a hostile outpost where survival depends entirely on fragile machines and a constant stream of resources from a planet millions upon millions of miles away. A single failure anywhere in the chain leads to death. Every moment is a fight against an alien world that doesn't care if you live or die. Even if humanity decides to go to Mars, lands there, builds a base, and manages to live for years, it won't be colonization. It will be survival inside a bubble, a tiny human existence on a planet that can never truly belong to us. For those who go, Mars will almost certainly be the last place they ever see. For those who dream of Mars as our next great home, consider the reality. The launch can kill you, the journey will weaken you. Then, your arrival at Mars may end the mission, with a crash landing that would be 100% lethal. And if you are lucky enough to survive, the planet itself will spend every second trying to finish the job.
Everything on Mars, every condition on Mars is set in a way that will kill you. There's no place to, there's no Eden. There's no Eden on Mars. It is there to kill you, and it will kill you. Michael Kennedy, he does say, I would risk it in a heartbeat. It would be better than living in a world where a country can invade another country and nothing happens to them. I don't think that's the worst thing. I think that there is. I think what we're talking about, a lot of people would look at Mars as being a very good, interesting. I would risk survive. You know what the stakes are, and this might be the argument for why people are going to want to go to Mars. I know what the stakes are. I screw up and I'm dead. Those are the stakes on Mars. It's black and white. Especially in the last 5 years, how things have changed so bad to the detriment of millions of people, the middle class. You don't know what the stakes are because they just keep getting worse. Every time you think you understand what they are. And that uncertainty of existence, at least you go to Mars, you go, okay, I know what's going to kill me. I know all of these factors. I know what I have to try and do to survive. It's simple. And what the world is changing into in society It's now becoming ambiguous as to you don't even know what to do. So I get it, Michael, when people say, this is Michael's, and I think maybe a lot of people think that way with regards to, would I go? You know what? Yeah, I would go to Mars. It kind of says, get me off of this planet with what is going on. A lot of people, look, we shouldn't be thinking that way as people, but I get it. I get it.
Yet in spite of all this, some will still go, because even in the face of certain danger, the human desire to reach beyond what we know burns hotter than any fear. And maybe that's the real truth of Mars, not a new beginning, but the ultimate test of how far we're willing to suffer, sacrifice, and die, just to touch a world that was never meant for us to live on.
I mean, that is a sexy rocket. Seriously. Elon Musk made the sexiest rocket when he made the Starship. Jeff Bezos made the funniest one when he made his little phallic symbol, right? The phallic symbol rocket ship. You know which one I'm talking about. You know which one I'm talking about. The Bezos phallic symbol rocket, Blue Origin, right? You know the spaceship. Elon Musk has constructed a gorgeous rocket. It is a monster.
This is a godless universe.
Of course, that was, what was the channel we used to be called back in the before it went to Dimension Zero. So that is guys, that is the that is Mars. There are so many things working against you. On a Mars, would you want to go to Mars? If you had the option, it was up to you, yes or no. If you said yes, you're going. If you said no, you're not going. If it was presented to you, would you go? Everything else, not a consideration. It's the only consideration is whether you want to or not. If you say yes, you're going to board that Starship 6 months from now. You'll do 6 months of training and you're on your way, baby. You're on your way. Would you go? Would you leave everything behind and go? Michael Kennedy. Austin Powers, yeah, baby, yeah. Midnight Dracula's in the house. Son of a gun. Low gravity, you can spin them like a basketball. Hey, Zero. Midnight Dracula, at least compared to other planets, Mars is relatively more docile. Yeah, you don't want to go to Venus. You don't want to go to Mercury because you'll die in like 2 seconds from the radiation from the sun. Well, you can't go to Jupiter because there's no surface. You can't go to Saturn because there's no surface. You can't go to Uranus. Not mine. That's your anus. Neptune, the god of the seas in Greek mythos. And of course, Pluto, it's minus 220 degrees Celsius on the surface. So that unless you get a lot of firewood, you're going to have a lot of firewood on Pluto. I would love to visit Pluto, just in a spaceship. Let me go there for like a week or two. Give me like, if I can walk around, a little scooter so I can drive around on Pluto. That'd be amazing. That really would be amazing. People are just so tired of the Earth that they take their chance on Mars. People are tired of the bullshit, right? And this is on a political perspective now. Look, politics affect us all. It doesn't matter whether you're a Trump supporter or not. I don't know if you're a Democrat who you would support. Gavin Newsom. I lived in Los Angeles for 20 years. Do not tell me you support a Gavin Newsom presidency. Holy shit. The problem is with the political system. When Elon Musk said a third party, but he's got so much tied in with the government, his whole business, his whole structure that he's built. You know, that's, I get it. Oh, totally get it, Midnight. Look, we're all sitting at home watching, listening, reading, and we think, yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, you know, it's a reason. Yeah, get me anywhere. I'll go to Mars. Like hook me up. It's a good point. It is a very, I get it. Michael Kennedy, we're so close to this world's end that we are close to a nuclear end that at least there's a chance to create peace. Well, Mars doesn't exist without the Earth sending stuff, so Earth has to survive. Now, if you're I'm 58. I'm 58 years old. So I grew up. I was actually born in Brno, Czechoslovakia. We in 1968 when the Russians invaded, the Soviets invaded. However you want to. We literally had to leave. My mom that afternoon left everything behind: the house, the furniture, the pictures, the clothes, everything. Took my brother and I, mom and dad, went to the Vienna border, and we got out. And we were refugees in Vancouver in 1968. And so that was a time where nuclear war was at our doorsteps every single day, right? If you remember, if you're of that age, you remember the Cold War. Today, I don't know if nuclear war is the biggest threat. It's a threat, though. Because stupidity, human stupidity, it just takes one stupid person, right? Kim Jong-un. That's all it takes. North Korea. That's all it takes. I could easily go and say, look, Israel has no right killing 80,000 people in Gaza. I don't care what you think. Okay, put the politics aside. Let's just do the death toll. You can't kill 80,000 people without consequence. I have good friends that are Jewish, and we talk about it. You can't go and kill 80, 90, 100, 120,000 people, and shit's not going to happen. Right? I mean, now we're talking reasons to leave the Earth and go to Mars. Why do you go to Mars? But the thing is if you go to Mars, you still rely on the structure because you need those supply rocket ships coming with the food, with the spare parts, with the new people coming and going. I think that you can maybe even come back once in a while, right? You go, you can come back. Maybe they have new doctors, new engineers. They're going to grow. Maybe there's some success and they put up more habitats. They ship some mining equipment, some dump truck. How do you ship a dump truck? I don't know. Like all this Caterpillar stuff. I don't know how you, but I get when people start talking about, I'm sick and tired, especially, I remember, you guys remember 2019? Whoever idea was COVID, whoever idea it was, and I hope you didn't take those damn frickin' shots. There's no frickin' way I would take those damn shots. I even went to the hospital. I had appendicitis in 2022. They asked me if I had the vaccine. I said, I was in the hospital. My biggest fear is that they're going to shoot me with it because I had to go to emergency surgery, right? I said, do not poke me with that crap. And I thought I was going to get kicked out of the hospital with appendicitis. Because, of course, I'm in California, you know. California is such a nurturing place. Such a nurturing place. Not. So I get it. Michael, you're right. There's no arguments. Austin Powers. Oh, you want it? You want some Austin Powers, buddy? You want some? Oh, where? Okay,
yeah, baby. Yeah. Very shagadelic, baby. Yeah.
It's a little bit of that. A little bit of Austin. A little bit of Austin. If that means leaving the Earth and all of its... It's late enough in the show I could swear. It's late enough. If that means leaving the Earth and all of its fuckery, it's a technical term. It's a Mars. I'd say yes. And midnight, that is a Mars technical term. Why did you leave Earth? Well, because of its old fuckery. Rabbits. Yeah, what's up, Dak? Wait, you're Canadian? So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm a European. I grew up in Canada. I spent 20 years in Los Angeles, so I have a United States sin, I have a Canadian sin, and a EU birth certificate. I am a mutt. I am a mutt of North America. I spent half my life in the United States, half of my life in Canada. Midnight. I was born in the early 1990s, so I have no memory of the Cold War. I still experience the aftermath, though. Yeah, you can feel the aftermath. To have lived during the Cold War and that real, like the whole Khrushchev days, right? The whole Brezhnev days, if you're old enough. I remember Jimmy Carter. Holy geez, what a fucking disaster that was. Right around 1980. What a disaster. And I'll tell you, talk about the right president at the right time. Ronald Reagan. Oh, whew. Look, Trump is not Ronald Reagan. I don't know if there is another Ronald Reagan out there. But then again, here's the thing about politics. There's so much mud. There's so much mud fighting, slinging. You have got to be good at fighting in the mud. And one thing Trump is good at, he's good at the mud fight. He is very good at it. And that is a skill, right? He is strong. I don't know anyone that could go through what he has gone through the last 8 years. Seriously, right? You got to admit that. The dude is a freaking powerhouse. Because I would have fucking thrown the time. Okay, I don't need this shit. And every good person in America, everyone that's got worth their salt in decent or whatever is a good person, will say, I don't need that shit. I don't need that. And so you don't really get the best ever. You get the Gavin Newsom's coming. Kamala Harris. Hillary Clinton. Not society's finest. 843 Desert 12. Hey, wait a sec. Where'd that go? Oh, there you go. This is free energy and its limitless power. Helium-3 starts with fusion. Yeah, helium-3, yeah. Yeah, because that is a isotope, right? They can use that for actually fusion power. I think they can use it for fission power. Helium-3. Good point, Desert. 843. 8431. Laughing out loud. Please forgive my language. Oh, no, fuckery is good sometimes. Look, it's later in the show because generally I don't like swearing the first little bit. And I know that there are some younger people that do watch the show. It's not a kid's show, but there is a reality to society. I'm not even sure if fuckery is that kind of, I don't know. It's more descriptive than anything, right? Midnight, North America is full of mutt. We're all mutt. We're all mutts. We're all mutts. We are. I have friends. I have religious friends. I have atheist friends. I'm an agnostic. I have Jewish friends. I have friends that have come from every culture around the world, right? You guys probably do too. What's up? Creative Creature's in the house. He's back. It's Creative Creature. It is his birthday on Saturday. He is turning 43 years old. Creative Creature. Oh, I'll give you the full applause. Full applause. If you guys got a birthday, something important, let me know. I'll put it up. We'll talk about it. So, this is interesting. Creative. I mentioned this yesterday, the day before, because I've been thinking about starting an hour later. Because it seems to me most people, and my peak hours are actually 1 hour later because I usually start at 7. My peak starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. That's my peak. And that's usually when I find a lot of the regs, people coming in like afterwards, 5, like 7:30, or sorry, 8:30, 8:30. I think I'm starting an hour too soon. So I'm thinking about starting the show at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central. Maybe. Still thinking about it. And all the bigger numbers, all the people start coming. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm ending the show and like people are just starting to kind of come kind of thing. I don't know. Midnight Dracula says, laughing out loud. You Americans are cooked. Your choice were either a thief or a burglar. Where are you from? Where are you? So Midnight. Are you Canadian? Midnight Dracula. Are you a Canuck? Canuck? Oh, what did you? What happened here? Creative Creature says, "What up? What's up? Oh, you missed the Mars show about all the ways to die on Mars. You basically missed the whole show." Am I at the beginning? No, we're the hour and 40 minutes in. That's why I'm thinking about starting at 8 o'clock Eastern. It's like sporadic in the first hour. It's sporadic, and then everyone kind of starts showing up at an hour and a half into it. That's why I'm thinking I got to start this a little bit later. If I'm doing entertainment, so if I was on my other channel, Poprageous, and I'm just doing entertainment, I'm doing movies, and I'm talking shit about Doomsday, and I'm talking, Stranger Things all day. Did you guys hear about Mickey Rourke? Mickey Rourke, yeah. He's almost homeless. His manager he got kicked out of his house. His manager had to save him, put him up in a hotel. Did you guys hear about that? Mickey Rourke, Iron Man. What's this guy? What was his name? He's Iron Man 2. He was the bad guy. He's the bad guy. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then, okay, Los Angeles Times. I won't be. This is maybe they put this up. This is kind of. I mean, we're almost at the we're at the fun time, and we've done our science. We want the goodies. We want the goodies. Mickey Rourke is almost homeless. Whoa. Okay, let's go. Oh my God, can we please get the advertising out of there? And this is a true story. It's kind of sad because I've always kind of liked Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke's manager reveals details behind actor's controversial GoFundMe. The guy's almost broke. Mickey Rourke is literally almost broke. I think he is broke. He was $60,000 behind on his rent. He got kicked out of his house that he lived at for years. With the drive closing in on its $100,000 goal in 24 hours, the star of The Wrestler says he will return all the donations. Well, his manager literally paid to move him. His manager paid to put him up in a hotel. His manager paid. So it's not like you've got many options here. It's been 48 hours. Mickey Rourke would probably rather forget. The 1980s screen heartthrob, who earned the 2009 Oscar nominations for his comeback vehicle, The Wrestler, found himself facing eviction from the Spanish bungalow in Los Angeles he has called home for over a decade. Out of funds, his manager of 9 years, Kimberly Hines, and her assistant launched an emergency GoFundMe early Sunday to save Rourke, 73, from the threat of homelessness. After the Hollywood Reporter covered the fundraising effort and the media caught wind of the story, however, Rourke is it's a really hard word to say. Ensconced. You say it at home. Ensconced. It's always different when you're live. It always is. In a West Hollywood hotel until he can relocate to a more permanent apartment in Koreatown. Koreatown is like a good place to live in LA. It is. I like Koreatown. It used to be better 10 years ago. Every place in LA used to be better 10 years ago. Oh my God. People used to go to Koreatown because it was just off of downtown, right? So people will go to Koreatown because it was a fairly still not too expensive place to live. And a lot of my friends in LA were South Korean. Oh, I'd say most of my friends in LA were South Korean. So after the Hollywood Reporter covered the fundraising effort and the media caught wind of the story, however, Rourke is Koreatown posted an Instagram video disavowing any knowledge of the humiliating fundraiser and pledging to return every nickel to worried fans. Well, what's more humiliating? Being homeless and having your manager have to pay for your move and then pay for your hotel room? What the hell is more? I mean, this guy, maybe he needs to have a few days on the streets. People are willing to freaking help you. They're willing to help you. I mean, there's a lot of decent people out there. We forget that there are a lot of decent people out there that are willing to help others in need. Even Hollywood narcissists. There's no reason a person like that should not have money. They have a name. They still have a name. To clear up all the confusion over the GoFundMe, Heinz called THR from Europe to walk us through the events that led to its launch and offer an update on Rourke's current status and well-being. So here we go. Kimberly, can you clear up the confusion? And Kimberly is the manager for Mickey Rourke. What the hell? Oh, it's Hollywood Reporter. Every time you do that, I got it. Yeah, don't do that. In the last 48 hours, we moved him out of his house. We put him up in a West Hollywood hotel. The GoFundMe was done for Mickey. That money's going to Mickey. It's not going to me. And if Mickey doesn't want this money now and decides I don't want help, it's like it's charity. The money will be returned. But if you're the one that's paying for the move and the rent, you're the one that's paying the charity. It's like, it might be okay if you take the money. Like you literally already offered out of your own pocket to help this person, which is admirable. And now you're saying, you know what? Don't worry. I'm not going to take the money. Everyone take the money back and I'll just pay it out of my own pocket. Well, Kimberly, I salute you for doing that for another human being. He doesn't even have a key to his house. We had to get movers there, get all his clothing out, organize a new apartment for him, get a storage shed. All of this is being paid for by his management team, which is me. With your help, how was the GoFundMe idea presented to Mickey? With your help, we were shocked that the GoFundMe took off. We're like, let's do this little GoFundMe thing. We'll see what happens. This will help Mickey. And Dima, his assistant, and I were like, this is good. It will help Mickey. We said, Mickey, there's some good people that want to help you out. And if they want to help you, let them help you, you dumbass. He's like, okay, great. I don't think he understood. And now it's taken on this media frenzy and he flipped out. Well, it's not like he has many options. He's the one that's going homeless. He's the one that's fucked. He's the one that's gone through fuckery, if I may use, can I use the term? Yes. And now it looks bad on us. Nobody's trying to grift Mickey. I want him working. I don't want him doing a GoFundMe. He is literally... His manager is the only person that saved him from homelessness. The good thing about this is that he got 4 movie offers since yesterday. Okay, this is Mickey. Mickey. In the same time, I have received 0. I've received 0 film offers. People are emailing him movie offers now, which is great because nobody's been calling him for a long time. Oh yeah, Mickey Rourke. They probably thinking, okay, we got a big look. You could do independent movies. This is what Russell Crowe does. He does a lot of this stuff, right? This is what a lot of big names do. That used to be big names. They will do independent movies. They will get like $2 million because all you need for distribution on an indie movie, and yes, getting a guy like Russell Crowe for $2 million is expensive, but you get him for 2 days, and he will act out the scenes that you need him to. And he's a pro. So he acts it out. And all of a sudden you can sell your movie because why? Russell Crowe's in it. This is the same thing that Die Hard, what's his name? Die Hard actor. He was doing the same thing. He was just punching through the movies. 1 million, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million. You get a big name in it and you can sell your independent movie. It's saleable. People will buy it, right? In for distribution. Russell Crowe. And it's probably the same thing with Mickey Rourke. He could easily be making $500,000 on these movies. You get Mickey for 4 days. What do you want him to do? Because you put Mickey Rourke at the top. He's a name. And you put it into independent distribution. You can sell it. Especially into Europe. This is where if Mickey's going to make money, I'm not sure why his manager wasn't doing that. Maybe this brought it into the, front and center, Mickey Rourke. But you got a movie and you're not going to get any traction because you have no names or no nothing. Maybe you got $1 million in financing and you can get maybe an extra $1 million if Mickey Rourke is signed on. Look, we'll pay Mickey. Can we get 3 days out of Mickey? I need him for 13 scenes. Well, okay. Well, you got okay. He'll do 2 days and he'll try and do 12 scenes. Okay, we'll pay him $1 million. But he might be able to get $500,000 for something like that. Even Kevin Spacey, I think he was acquitted on almost everything, wasn't he? I mean, that's just the way the movie business is. And Russell Crowe, he doesn't like that's part. That's also what Ghost Rider. What's his name? That's what he started doing 15 years ago. Why am I forgetting these actors' names? This thing is all taken off like crazy. I looked at it this morning. I'm like, whoa, my God, he's almost raised $100K. The only contract we've had with GoFundMe was, how do we get the money to Mickey? The only contact we've had. How do we get the money to Mickey? He doesn't have a bank account. Mickey Rourke doesn't. We're just doing everything we can to get to him. They were changing the locks at his house on Tuesday. That was yesterday, wasn't it? This story is just breaking, so I think this was yesterday. He got to the hotel. We got the dogs out. We got him set up. We got what he needs for the next week. So we got some food in the fridge. Little chicken tacos from Costco. Then we organized movers. I bought actually the shrimp tempura tacos. I don't know if you guys ever bought those from Costco. They're pretty good. I had them first time this week. They're pretty good. We got what he needs for the next week. Then we organized movers. Then we got everything, all his clothing packed up. I rented a U-Haul. That's a good manager. Guys, that is a good manager. No one's touched this GoFundMe money. This money, this money has been there to help Mickey. If Mickey doesn't want the money will go back. It's putting me in a very bad position where now I'm financing his move and the hotel and the movers and his storage. Mickey was cool with getting help the other day, and now Mickey's like, I'm not taking charity. Well, you already did, buddy, and your manager is keeping you freaking alive. That would piss me off. You're getting charity. It's me. I'm the one that's freaking losing. I don't know. That's a terrible way to say it, isn't it? But you know what I mean. We have him at a hotel right now with his 3 dogs. Can you afford the dogs? And then we have an apartment that we have rented for him in Koreatown. That is where all of his clothing went yesterday. He has no furniture there because the state of his house was so bad. Oh, he's probably a hoarder, right? Mickey Rourke's a hoarder. Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke's a hoarder. Have you seen pictures of Mickey? Thank you. Thank you. I think that's all. Is that the article? Is there anything else? Oh, I guess my assistant was there, Eric, with his best friend, Frenchie. They all went over, and there was actually even a camera guy who filmed it all. There was there's black mold in the house that he was living in. No running water. So basically, we can't even move any of his furniture out. There was water damage. So he can't even take most of his belongings with him because all his furniture is completely destroyed. Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke. Eric and Frenchie were at his house picking up all of his valuables that could be salvaged, and they were moved to this new apartment. Mickey's been there for years. Ever since I've managed him, so over 10 years, this new guy, Eric Gold, he bought the property a year and a half ago and raised the rent from $5,200 to $7,000. But the house was so absolutely just gone. The refrigerator's not working. There's no water. It's uninhabitable. He can't live there. So what happens now? This is the climax of the story. To be honest, Mickey doesn't have a bank account. He doesn't carry money. He sent me a WhatsApp message. Kim, I'm forever grateful for all your help. What it should say, Kim, I'm forever grateful for all of your charity. You are accepting charity, so accept $100,000, you dumbass. So I'm doing what I can, and then he puts up a video that he doesn't want help. That would frustrate me. I mean, if he wants to send all that money back, send it back. I don't care. The money was for Mickey. Unless you've already put out $20,000 saving his ass from homelessness. He's calling me for money. He's calling friends for money. That's charity. Friends will help. Family will help. I mean, look, you got good friends. They will help you. If you need, I've helped friends my whole life. I don't expect it back. A GoFundMe is set up for him. Now he's rejecting it. Okay, no problem. But nobody's here has done anything wrong. It was done with a good intention, she shouldn't have been explaining the GoFundMe. My assistant is 21 years old right now. I'm fronting the money for Mickey to get him out of this emergency situation. But anyway, it's a very sad situation. Yeah, it goes on. I mean, this is pretty long. We're not going to go through all that. That's Mickey. That's Mickey Rourke. That's you know what? Let's okay. Have you seen him? Shit. No, I don't want that. Open in a new tab. Is that him? That's him on the right. Oh, here's a good picture. This is, oh, wait, fuck. This is just, guys, this is sad. Oh, where's the picture? Wait a sec. I opened the other picture. Why? Oh, they're punking me. Open image. Oh, sorry, there it is. Open image in new tab. My apologies. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. What the hell? Oh, sorry, guys. Let me share the screen. How come it didn't? There we go. Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke. It's hard to feel, you know what, when you watch these Oscar shows and you watch all these shows of all these absolutely rich people that are just sitting there patting each other on the back, getting dressed up. Like, I freaking care what you're fucking wearing. I really don't. This is a guy who had everything going for him, right? He had everything well beyond any of us. he had everything going for him. And maybe he's not mentally well. Maybe he hasn't been mentally well for a long time. You still had everything going for you, well beyond any of us regular people. At what, 43, decides to be a boxer? I decided to be a boxer when I was 13 years old. And then at 14, I went to kickboxing. Not 30 years later. But it's a sad story, guys. That's a matter of fact. What's going on here? How come it's not doing what I'm telling it? There you go. Yes. Oh yes, happy birthday to Creative. Going back a while ago, my dad is weirdly 100% Norwegian. 100% Norwegian? Norway. He's a Viking, yes. Is it possible to fix the gravity issues on Mars? It is not. There's no way. There's no way you can fix the gravity issues on Mars. It's easier to fix Mickey Rooney's life. Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rourke. My apologies. There's no solution. There's no solution. So basically, I did a video on anti-gravity. There's no way that we can create, because gravity is created by mass. They're trying to do things with magnetics and this. It's all hocus pocus. Gravity waves. It's not. It's one of the things on Star Trek and Star Wars. All these, they're walking around in the ship and everything is like they're walking around on Earth. There's no fix to low gravity. The only thing we have is the spinning thing, right? Where the spinning cylinder is what the centrifugal force of that spinning cylinder. And there's specific calculations with how big the cylinder is. It's going to depend on how far out it's got to be, and then and how fast it has to spin. This is a spinning object, like metal on metal, right? So it needs to be lubricated. It needs to happen without fail for months at a time, this massive structure. Midnight, I live in Canada, but I ain't a Canuck. What do you mean? You can live in Canada and not be a Canuck? You got to help me with that one. I need some... Sorry, I was watching the John Candy documentary. I like me. I do. I like me. I love John Candy. Canadian. John Candy's a Canadian. Loved by all. John Candy. Loved by all. Michael Kennedy. Much like the cruise ships that use motion stabilizers. Yeah, I mean, that's a totally different concept. But granted, yeah. You'll still get sick on if you're not used to it, you'll still get sick on a cruise ship. He was my favorite character in Sin City. Good point. He was in Sin City, right? He's a great actor. That's the thing. He is a great actor. The guy is an amazing actor. Mickey Rourke. By raising and lowering platforms continuously, we can input G-forces that simulate gravity enough to keep us healthy. But you can't do that all day long. Like you can't. Again, you're using mechanics, right? You're using machinery. Machinery breaks down, and I don't know exactly how that would help in long term, and then on an ongoing basis. Because if you go up and you go down, you have gravity, and then you have the absence of gravity when you go, or lessen gravity when you go down. Wait, how did he go broke? He doesn't have a bank account. He hasn't worked in years. Probably DoorDash. I'm thinking probably DoorDash. That's how everyone goes broke. I ordered a Big Mac, a large fries from DoorDash. What it cost? $42. Not including tip. DoorDash, you will go bankrupt on DoorDash. Dude, 73. Creative, yeah. Mickey Rourke is 73. Yeah. At Michael Kennedy, I think centrifugal platform is the best way to stimulate. Yeah, gravity. It is. Can't do it on Mars though. Unless there's something I'm missing. Hey, I used to live in a Sinister. I used to live in Koreatown. I used to live pretty close to it. I used to live downtown. I used to live on. The favorite place I lived when I was living in Los Angeles was on Burton. I was in the corner of Burton and Robertson. The Versailles Apartments. Burton is one of the most beautiful streets in the world to live on. It's got that center green patch and it goes right into Beverly Hills. Burton Avenue is one of the most gorgeous places to live. I was there for, I don't know how many years I was there. A lot of years. Right down from the Ivy. Used to go and hang out at the Ivy. It's still that number one place to hang out at for lunch in Los Angeles, the Ivy. Good food. And the food is not overpriced. Like that was last time I went there was 4 or 5 years ago. But I love going to Garfield Park area. Doggy is back. He probably only had 30 mil at his peak. Only 30 mil. I ain't had 30 mil at my peak. I'm still peaking. Peekaboo. Midnight Dracula, that is interesting and probably a little easier to engineer. Well, on Mars, I still think Mars is a death sentence. I totally get why people would be okay going to Mars. I totally get it. We know what's gonna kill you on Mars, right? You know what's gonna kill you. The uncertainty of living on this planet now, you don't know what's gonna kill you. And whatever it is probably gonna be a slow death. At least Mars, whatever you die from on Mars is gonna be a quick death. And maybe that's the appeal. Is he mentally okay? Oh, probably not. Probably not. It's hard to accept when you have fallen that far and are prideful. Yeah, no, that's a good point too. Doggy, that's a good point. Bruce Willis. Yeah, that was the name. Thank you. Why couldn't I remember Bruce Willis's name? Is in super bad shape. He is. And he was one of the actors. He was doing The Independents, right? You could get Bruce Willis in an independent movie, $2 million. Almost every movie that he was in is an independent. You could sell that thing. You could sell it for what, 2.5, 2.7, maybe $3 million. If it's a pretty good movie. And those independent scripts are usually shit garbage. That's why I never sold my screenplays, ever. I've never sold my screenplays. But yeah, he's in bad shape. Yeah. Hell yeah, the term fuckery is catching up. You're free to use it, sir. Thank you, Midnight. It's very kind. You're kind to allow me the use of that word. If you have intellectual property rights to that word, it's a good word. I'll check, get it into the Library of Congress. Need work in Hollywood? Go broke. It's the whole saying. How do you leave Hollywood with $1 million? How do you leave Hollywood with $1 million? You come with $10 million. That's how you do that. It's true. Hollywood, holy jeez. Yeah, the power of big name, no matter how bad the movie is. Yeah, as long as they're a big name. Yeah, very true. You get the Nicolas Cage. Thank you. Why can I not remember these people? Of course, that was a few minutes ago. Nicolas Cage, like he's the guy that he started pumping out, especially around the Great Recession. He would start working up movies, any movie, $1 million, $2, $3 million. Didn't matter, just to get the money, right? Because he almost went bankrupt. You should check out Motherless Brooklyn. Oh. I don't think I want to. Is that bad? Mickey Rourke need to lower his standard and follow Nicolas Cage's path by taking low-end movies. Yes, that is what a lot of big names do. Russell Crowe does it all the time. That's his shtick. That's his business model. You want me? And you will not tell him, do not freaking tell him to lose weight, because he is a Santa Claus, a happy Santa Claus pudgy. You do not tell him to lose weight. Right? Do not tell him to lose weight. He will go ape on you. You remember Russell Crowe in South Park? Yoy, mate.
We're going to get in a fight. We're going to get in a fight. We're going to go to China.
Don't fuck with Russell Crowe. Don't fuck with Russell Crowe. They profited off him for how long? Oh, yeah, of course. But, that's part of the, hey, Hollywood is a parasite industry. Hollywood is parasites. Dude, that sad hoarding is horrible. Yeah. He's clearly mentally troubled. He probably is. Probably took even at 43, it's not a great time to start boxing. Sylvester Stallone helped him out when he was on his last $10. Got him a spot on Expendables. Right. I've met Sylvester Stallone once. And he's got a good name. Sly's got a good name. That was 2010, so there's a pattern. Yeah. Well, now we learn that pride can get us starving. A lot of things could get us starving. I wonder how he is doing mentally. Well, I think he's pretty bad. He looks gone, doggy. I think you got it right there, doggy. Dude, he is not well. Send him to a therapist ASAP. He needs one. I've got a chair. Mickey? Mr. Rourke, please sit. Sit. I'll have your dogs wait outside. Thank you. You guys are talking up a storm. That other picture looked a lot worse. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it did. It did. My late grandfather once told me that in order to gain wealth, we either give up our time or well-being. We can't have all three at once. Could be a good point. You might have something there. Not going to argue it. Sounds sound to me. After this, Mickey won't get a spot in any picture as iHollywood does not support the homeless. That's true. But like they said, he is getting a lot of offers. It's like, oh yeah, shit, Mickey Rourke. Oh yeah. Can we, all these independent films are like, can we get him for like 250 grand? We want him for 4 days for 250. But you got to think when you're homeless and penniless and 250,000, Mickey, you got to work for 4 days, maybe 5. It's $250,000. Now shut the fuck up and show up Monday, this time at this location. You just got to read the words. Remember, you're an actor. Just read the words. Here's the script. Lubricated. Hey, can I answer that? Did you vote for Justin? Walter, hey, I can answer that. Did you vote for Justin? Walter, if you did, you're Canuck. Oh, Katy Perry's man. Katy Perry's guy. That's what you're talking about. Justin Trudeau. Hey, look, I was in the United States when Justin Trudeau was in Canada. That would be like Gavin Newsom. Justin Trudeau is the closest thing to Gavin Newsom there is. Zara's back. Holy geez, you guys are... Hey, what happened? Sinister. I'm going on a Gore Verbinski marathon. Nice, Gore Verbinski. He's got a new movie or something. I'm going on a Gore marathon. I just watched his first movie, Mouse Hunt. Same guy who made The Ring, by the way. I know Gore Verbinski. Gore Verbinski is a extremely talented director. You could have been a Chuck Norris double. Well, I could have. I mean, been a kickboxer. I can kick and spin and punch and. I mean, that is a compliment. Look, I mean, shit. Thank you. I mean, that's a compliment. Or stuntman. I could have stunt double. Yeah. You could have been a Chuck Norris double. Something continuously hitting Mars. Have you ever heard of a steamroller outside your house? What? Creative. What? Something continuously hitting Mars? Have you ever heard of a steamroller outside your house? I don't know. I think Amy Winehouse owns fuckery. Oh shit. Maybe. He's 73. Can he just collect Social Security at this point? He doesn't even have a bank account. How do you give him money? You're just going to show up with cash. Mickey, you're getting $250,000 for 5 days. Show up here.
All right. Where's the cash? Where's the money?
Okay, what?
Where's the cash? I need the money.
I ain't gonna fuck with Russell Crowe unless he starts singing.
Right, we're in for a fight. You want to fight?
South Park. I just can't let him sing. Remember Les Miserables? I did not see Les Miserables. I'm not a big musical. I don't like musicals. Although I did like The Last Showman. I did like that one. I really did. Russell Brand. Or Russell's Band. Oh, wait a sec. "40-Odd Yards of Grunt" is a good brand. Russell's Band. I gotta stop blocking people. Who'd you block? Czar, who'd you block? Are people being mean to you? 40-Odd Yards of Grunt is a good band. I don't know. I haven't heard. 40-Odd Yards of Grunt is a good. Whoa. Okay. I think Michael's tried to do some promotion. It is weird that I'm sexually attracted to Pierre Poliv. Who? You serious? Is that a joke? Yeah, I punched up the name more than MS. I punched up the what? Would you recommend Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein? I did do a review on Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. If you're going to watch it at home, yes, it's a good movie. But the one thing about Frankenstein is halfway through the movie, it basically becomes The Shape of Water. It's the exact same movie. It's just in a different realm. It's a movie about an odd creature who is hated and treated badly by its captor, exactly like Shape of Water. And at the end, the creature gets, its revenge and it takes off. It's the same movie. It's the same concept. So what Guillermo del Toro does, and I love Guillermo del Toro. He's a good writer. He's a good director, and he's one of the best at sensationalism without taking it over the top. But what happens is he forced Victor Frankenstein's hatred. Why do you hate the thing that you created? Because he can only say one word? That's literally where Victor Frankenstein's hatred came from. Not good enough. Unbelievable. Not believable. You hate him because he could only say one word. He couldn't say boot. He couldn't say anything else. So you hate him? You got angry over that? It was so forced. It was didn't buy into it. You needed a much stronger reason for Victor Frankenstein to really hate what he created. There's no reason. It was unjustified. And Frankenstein was way too pretty. He was way too pretty. And then with the wedding, everything became so blocky, right? Frankenstein knows he's immortal. But yet Victor Frankenstein starts chasing him at the end of the movie. Why are you running? You know you can't die. So why are you running from Victor? He has guns. Guns do nothing to you. You can just stop, turn around, and kill him, and it's over. So even the ending didn't make sense. Why is Frankenstein running away from Victor Frankenstein? I mean, the opening scene was brilliant. That's what you want from an opening scene. As a screenwriter, I always stress the opening scene is so critical. And I think this is why I've won so many awards in screenwriting, is that opening scene, that first page. When someone reads that first page, that can be the first page where they take the script and they just literally toss it. But after that first page, they're like, ooh, I like it. Make that first scene kick some ass. Introduce your antagonist or your protagonist in a way that makes you go, what when I turn this page, what the hell is going to happen next? Because this is awesome. That is my thoughts on Frankenstein. LOL Creative. Les Miserables was good, except for parts where Russell Crowe sang. Could see that. I think that guy really likes that band. Yes, Slow. Slow. I think he does. I think he's loving it. Zara77 is here. I can't see her. Zara77 is, I think she's still here. I was hoping to watch it for my birthday. Watch it Saturday, right? Do it. It's a good watch. No, it's a good movie. I as a screenwriter, I am very critical. So I always look at how can we make this thing better. It's entertaining. It is. The spectacle, the visual spectacle is awesome. It is. The visual spectacle is awesome. There's no one better at visual spectacle than Guillermo del Toro. And I always say, if he would have done The Hobbit, it would have been so amazing to see what he could have done with The Hobbit. She's on the widescreen. Oh, yeah. So there is, so what happens with the, and a lot of people don't realize this, that there is a mobile stream, there is a widescreen stream, there's an X stream. So yeah, you might, and so the people on mobile will not see the people on, it's like the numbers that I see on the screen. Let's say you might see one number. Well, it's probably 3 or 4 times higher than that, because if you take all the streams together, it's actually a lot more people that are actually on the stream. But it's all fractured. Like none of it is kind of put together into one. And maybe that's what ultimately StreamYard or someone's working on, to try and get it together, put it all together. Russell Crowe's band is called, oh, that is right. Russell Crowe's band is called 40 Odd Yards of Grunt. Okay, Michael, gotcha. I think he's the bassist. Is that what Russell Crowe does? He plays the bass? Boom, 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 boom. A little bit of Jerry Seinfeld. Gilmore was one of my favorites. Him being from Mexico is awesome. He is Mexican. Yeah. He is. He's a good filmmaker. He probably had yesterday off with Three Kings Day, right? He probably had some tamales, a few gifts. Now I'm in the widescreen. There you go. Hey, doggy. No, Michael is. Okay, well, so that's what was it called? The 40 Odd Yards of Grunt. All right, well, 40, yeah, there it is. There we are. Oh, yeah, I remember that. This is the, oh man, it's really low resolution. Really low. Can I zoom that in? There we go. There you go, guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. I got one. No, I got one.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Fucking thing sucks.
Oh, jeez. That is, but yeah, I mean, it's funny because he was a good looking guy, right? The girls liked him. And like with so many of these guys, they just turn into, like, I think if Russell worked out, he hates working out, doesn't like it. He won't do it. But dear God, a person in your position, if you just worked out just a little bit, just a little bit of workout. Thank goodness he's the bassist. He can't be the vocalist. His Creed days. Oh, geez. That is, what else is there? Oh, you guys. So I got the. I don't know if this matters to anybody. If you guys have. Is it? Oh, it's Disney Plus, right? Tron Ares. You got here. I'll show it to you. I'll bring it up. It just came. It came my way. I don't know why. I don't know why Space.com. Who sent this to me? I think it was Space.com said that. Tron Ares debuts on streaming today. Here's how to watch Jared Leto's sci-fi AI blockbuster. Blockbuster? Sci-fi blockbuster? Look, most people haven't watched this, so if you got Disney Plus, hop on, take a watch. Actually, I have not seen it. It's what you know. What I might watch it falling asleep because you don't care if you watch the whole thing. It just puts you to sleep, and then the next day you kind of start 15 minutes in where you fell asleep, and eventually over like 2 weeks you finally end up watching the movie 15 minutes every night before you go to sleep. That's probably what Tron Ares is. Ares. That was some news that I had. Did I do this news? I did do it. Let's shut it down. I did this one as well. There's always some news. This one's not even interesting. Mickey Rourke. Mickey. And then Russell Crowe. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, I think we're going to call it there for this evening. I had a long day getting the video out. I put a new video out. And it is like a new video. It is almost 90% constructed. There's very little. It's called Were Humans Engineered? And I literally put it through. There's like 3 or 4. There's like one main kind of like story, and I have 3 little sub stories. And of course, being a screenwriter, it's the first time, guys. What I'm so excited about. It's the first time that I could actually be, because I don't have to buy stock footage anymore, which is just horrible. I can literally now it takes time to make. It's like you might have to take more than one take, right? Just like filming a movie. So you just can't type the prompts into AI. But now AI is so good. If you watch my video and give it a like, but watch the video and you want to see what AI can now do. Almost every single scene in that video I created through AI, and I created a very coherent story where the characters are acting and reacting to other. It's aliens, engineers from another. Basically, the idea that engineers, high intellect, their art is creating intelligent life. That's what they do. That's their art. And part of the idea is that humanity was. Do I believe it? No, but it's a great story. Could it have happened? Yeah. We can manipulate DNA. We can do it. But when you take a look at the engineers and what I've done with the spaceships and the interaction between primitive humans and the what I call them biolife engineers. So what I'm really excited about is actually doing more storytelling instead of space fact. Storytelling type videos. I am really excited about it. I got so many videos that from a storytelling perspective, not science fact, but kind of like pseudo fact, right? Pseudoscience, pseudo fact. It is. I'm checking that out. Creative. The second Tron was the best. That's a long time ago. He has great friends with Alan Dake from Great Big Seal. Well, I kind of wish to turn my novel into a movie. If you're a novelist, yeah, being a novelist is different than being a screenwriter. People who are novelists are not good at screenwriting. And I was an English major. I took, years of creative writing. I'm an okay novelist. But screenwriting, I've won hundreds of awards in film festivals around the world. Not a Leto fan. Not many people are. Not many people are. Happy birthday, Creative. Creative's birthday on Saturday. 43. Oh, I wish I could be 43 again. That was 15 years ago for me. That was 15 years ago. That was back in 2010. 2010, I turned 43. Do we need Jared Leto up there? Was there a reason he's up there? Oh, geez, did I ever like fix that? Oh, shoot. I gotta fix the overlay. What's okay? Why are they doing that? There we go. Adam, not a Leto fan, but he did play an Inhuman program pretty good. His stale acting fit for right in. Just wish we saw more of the grid. I have not seen it, Adam. I have not seen it, but I refuse to spend the frickin' money. It's like Running Man, Badlands. I wasn't doing reviews on them on my other channel, Poprageous. So I'm not going to, now I spend almost nothing to see it, but I will see it. And I will, I'll let you I'll put my 2 cents in. I wish I could be 22 again. Oh, 22. You're like in your 30s, aren't you, Midnight? Adam, fit. Yeah, I gotcha, for sure. Guys, till tomorrow night, we're going to sign off. I am going to get some food. I'm going to work on the next video, and I'm going to work on tomorrow's show. Tomorrow is going to be Chuck Norris Day because we skipped it today because I was pressed right to the end doing a video. And I am thinking about starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. I am thinking about doing that. 34, midnight. Yeah, I thought you were, mid-30s because you said you were born in the early 90s, right? So that would make total sense. Tomorrow night, I think we're going to do some alien stuff. And I think we're gonna do some alien stuff, and maybe a little bit of. There's a few things cooking. We're gonna have some fun. We'll have some fun. Maybe we'll check up on some movie stuff, see what the science news is, and we'll do all that. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. Creative, Doggy, Midnight, everyone that came in. Thank you for spending some time. I love it. Love the time. Had some fun. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. My name is Danny Alex, and this is Dimension Zero. Ciao bello and ciao bello.